Hey everyone, I've got another fall video for you today, and I want to thank Cricut for sponsoring today's video, and I am teaming up with a friend of mine, and I'm going to talk to you more about that in a minute. Our first project is right here. We're going to get started on that. I have this piece of summerish decor from Michaels. It was on clearance. I paid $3 for it, and I'm just going to coat the whole thing in the Folk Art Nantucket blue, and then we are going to start working on getting everything measured up. I believe this one is like a 6x6 square, and we're going to go into our design space to get designing on it. We're going to do a square. Big surprise, right? I like to do this just to kind of give us, something to start off with, to know what size everything needs to be. You're just going to size up your shape, whatever it is. And now we're just going to make it super easy, and we're going to go into design space, and I'm going to type out fall. It's pretty easy, right? There's a lot of things to choose from. This is a monthly subscription-based service, but it's worth it when you don't want to come up with all the designs all on your own. And I kind of changed my mind at first. I was like, well, let me do fall. I didn't really find what I wanted. So then I did the word gather. That's kind of what the whole idea of this video is surrounding, this idea of gathering. I would love to say that we can all do that so much nicer now because COVID is going away, but at least it isn't where I am. But that's all right, because we are still getting into the time of the year when we're going to be gathering together and celebrating and everything like that. So I found this really cute one. It just says family, a place to gather. And this is going to be all for my table, my dining room table, and we're going to get everything centered. You can just do it really easily by aligning everything, and then it's pretty much ready to cut. Just go in and set it to make it, and this is on my brand new Cricut Maker 3, so I am using a mat on this one, though. I don't have the smart material for this particular color vinyl that I wanted to use, and it's going to give you all your choices right here, and you're just going to go in and select your particular type of vinyl, not smart vinyl. I'm just going to use it on the premium vinyl. It's got a little bit of a glossy tone, so I went with that one. Once you've done that, you go over to your machine. It's going to blink a couple of times at you, and it's just going to feed it through just perfectly. The Maker 3 is a lot faster, and then it's going to ask you to hit the play button, and there you go. It's just going to cut your file for you, lickety split, and it's going to be done. Sorry, that was a weird comment. And I've got this lovely little light box here. Cricut sent that to me as well, and it's going to really help with your weeding if you hate it like some of us do. It makes it a little easier to see it, and like I said, I'm just going to go ahead and weed through this whole design, and it's a little bit more intricate, but I don't know, I just really liked this particular design, so I went with it. Even though it's got a little more work involved to it, I think it was really worth it. When you're doing designs like this and you don't have to come up with them, it makes it so much easier. There it is, though, so you can see it's going to be absolutely adorable. I love all the little embellishments all around it. And next we're just going to get a piece of transfer tape, and I did stick it on my clothes a couple of times just to get some of the stickiness off, and then we're going to go through and varnish it, and I had a couple more spots I needed to varnish a little heavier. And once you do that and you just pull it up, just kind of do it slowly, that way you don't end up messing anything up. And we're going to get it nice and situated, get it placed. This really truly couldn't be any easier. I do pull out the ruler just to try and make sure that it's straight. They do have a specific type of the transfer tape that has lines on it. If you want to grab that, that would definitely help make that a little easier. And then I varnish it onto my surface and then just start peeling back the transfer tape. And we're not done yet, though. I'm going to give a full coat of the clear wax, and now I'm going to do a coat of the white wax. This was a suggestion that I had from a subscriber on my last video, and she said that this will help make it to where your white wax really only stays on like your high points. And I wanted to give it this kind of like shadowy look to it. I don't know, not shadowy, that's probably not the right word, but you know what I mean. I wanted it to have that little bit of like that white cast. and I will just, put it on a section and then wipe it away. And it's kind of really sticking to like the edges of my vinyl just to give it a little something different to it, and then I'm going to take just, a little dry brush and put it around the edges and also on the sides just to kind of tie it all in together. I did this same effect on some pumpkins that I made recently, and I wanted to be able to put all of this stuff together, and eventually it's going to be going out on my dining room table. And I've got a new channel called Home and Hauls with Theresa, and I'm going to be doing a decorate with me for fall pretty soon, so make sure you go check that out. But here's the project all finished up. I think it turned out super, super sweet. Now this video, speaking of sweet, is in the works with my good friend Jamie over at Simple Roots Simple Living. She's adorable. You're gonna love her. If you haven't checked her out before, go check her out. She's gonna be doing some porch decor, and I cannot wait to see what she comes up with. I absolutely love Jamie. You're going to love her too. I really hope that you go and check out her video today for our little, group gathering for fall. Everything, like I said, is about gathering. And here's another one, Gather Together, again with the gather. I know, it's like I said, it's kind of the way I felt about this video today. I've got this wood piece from Dollar Tree. Now, mind you, this is going to come out probably in the fall time. It doesn't really matter what it has on it. It doesn't even really matter if it has these little details. I'll show you what you can do if you don't have this particular one. I went ahead and sanded it down, and I painted it and then didn't like it and then sanded it down again. So it's got a very worn look, but that's all right. That is kind of where I was going with this. And I'm going in with that same Nantucket blue, and I'm just going and doing a very, it's a pretty thick brushing, but it's not like completely solid. You know what I mean? Like, I wasn't going to go back and do another coat, but I didn't want to completely coat it because I am going for a little bit more of a rustic look on this one. The first one was a lot more solid, a lot nicer, look to it. And we're going back into Design Space, and here I've already got my shape pulled out, and we're going to go into, the different images and stuff that you have, and I'll show you a little tip on this one. I'm going to pick one out eventually. And like I said, I'm just kind of going through them, and sometimes I'll pick a few and then, decide which one I like the best. But we're going to, like I said, I picked two just to see, play with it, kind of figure out what I want. And we're going to do this one, but we're going to ungroup it. And now we've got one part that says we together and one part that says gather. I'm going to size up my different parts of it. See, I'm going to do gather together, and then I'm going to get rid of that one. I decided I didn't like that one for this. Now, we lost our shape. Hold on. There we go. We are going to get the sizing, and we're going to make them kind of the same size. Maybe not exactly the same, but pretty close. If I find it. Let's see. All right. Sorry. I'm not doing it. I'm not talking it through as I'm doing it. This is already done, and I'm adding, my voiceover after the fact. So I'll get it fixed all the way I want. And now what you're going to do eventually, sorry guys, what we're going to do is I was going to group it, and I was just going to cut the we and just not, put it in the project. But then I remembered, actually, Jamie taught me how to do this, where you're going to go into your layers, and you're going to find the layers that are part of that we. And then you're going to just click on it, and that's going to hide it. And what I did just now is I put hide all. That's not what you want to do. You have to do it one by one, finding which ones are the right ones. So the we is easy, obviously. And then, see, it's there, it's gone, but we got a couple little dots to still go through. Now, what you'll do is you'll kind of go through, you can click on it, and you'll see it changes a little bit, like in tone on the letters. You can see where it's doing that, and now we've got it just gathered together. So you can kind of customize it a lot easier doing it that way, and give it a try the next time you're on your Cricut. And then we're going to do pretty much the same thing, except I realized that I did not make them to where they're going to all cut in the same vinyl. So to do that, you'll just highlight it all like I did and do attach. Now we're going to go through the same thing in cutting out our vinyl. It's going to actually be the same vinyl just to kind of keep everything nice and consistent. and I've already got it all situated on this, actually the same piece of the transfer tape. I just cut it down in half to make it fit. No need to waste it, you know what I mean? If you can use it more than once, you use it more than once, right? Some people save it and like use it multiple times. Usually I get mine, you know, to lose a lot of its stickiness, so I don't really get more than like 2 or 3 uses out of one piece, but it just kind of depends on you. Then it is mostly done, but what I'm going to do is this time, instead of doing the clear, I'm going to just do the white. I wanted a little different of a look. I wanted to keep more of that rustic bit of, you know, feel into it. I wanted to just try it a little differently. And like I said, I'll just go a full coating of the white wax that is from Folk Art. I got mine at Hobby Lobby, and you can get it either Hobby Lobby or you can get it at Joann's. I personally think that it's less expensive at Joann's when you have a coupon, because they still do like their 50 or 40% off. Or if you can't get a coupon on it, Hobby Lobby has the little bottles, and you can usually catch it when it's on like 30% off. And we just apply it on, wipe it off, and I think it really like amplified the, you know, rustic tone to it. So I was pretty happy with the result. I'll do, of course, the top, and I believe I do the sides. I think I don't think I ended up doing the bottom. I'm not really sure why I didn't, but I just didn't. I was like, well, you know what? It's going to sit on the bottom. And now I am going to use a couple of thumbtacks. They already had like a little bit of a hole in there from the, you know, the previous thing, you know, the previous little embellishment that was there. And then I'm just going to hammer it in some just to, you know, keep it in place. I'm not actually hammering it all the way, and word to the wise, hammer it all the way in, because what I end up doing is I am going to go over this with a couple of layers. So we're going to give it, you know, we're going to tone down all of that gold. I go first in with just a plain acrylic brown paint. Do that on all the edges. You could definitely sand them down just a little bit if you want to, you know, make it to where your paint is going to adhere a little bit better. And then I'm going to go in with just some gold paint from Folk Art. This is just in their brushed metal collection called Brushed Gold. And then we're going to go in with the good old antique wax. You guys know I can't go a whole video without antique wax. I do dry it down a little bit because I was like, I know it's just going to pull it up if I don't. So I'll just plop some of that on there just to get, you know, just to get that look that I wanted. I wanted that very like worn out, rusted almost look. You can get it with a couple of different choices. Here it is though, and it's all finished up. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. On to our next one is just a few pumpkins. I've got these 3 pumpkins from the Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to take all of this stuff off, and I'm going to just do about 3 coats of the I cannot talk, the moss colored paint from Waverly. That took a little bit of effort to get that out. And then I've already gone through and done a coat of the clear wax, and now I'm going in with a coat of the white wax. Now, what you may or may not be able to tell is these things have a ton of texture already in them. I'm so glad I've got a couple more of each of the shapes, the taller ones and the wider ones. I am holding on to them because I'm going to do something else with them. I was about to tell you what it was, and I'm going to keep it a secret though, that way you have to come back and watch it. But I'm going to definitely be going in and doing a couple other things with them. I've got a few ideas in mind. That is something different. Well, different than this. Probably not different than, you know, the wild ideas out there. But so I'm going to do, of course, the fronts and the sides all around the pumpkin, and you can just do so many little things with these. They're absolutely adorable. They had the monograms, and I tell you what, one of them, I think the letter J, it was not interested in hiding at all. And here's how they turned out. Super cute. I can't wait to show you the other ideas I have though. Here is DIY number 4. We are making this tray. Now, as you can tell, it is not white. This is red. And so I did end up doing, originally I was going to do the plaster paint from Waverly, and I changed my mind as I was getting ready to paint it and decided on the Rust-Oleum Chiffon cream. I just wanted that smooth, creamy whiteness, and it took about 2.5, 3 coats or so. And I took off the feet on the bottom because I wanted to make sure I couldn't see any of that red. And now we're just going to go through and do some distressing with our antique wax from Folk Art. I always want to call it Waverly. I have a big container of it that I still have not opened, but that's all right. And so I do go much heavier on kind of the edges. I really thought about making this more of that Nantucket blue that I've used throughout most of this video, but I wanted to keep this one a little bit more neutral just because it is such a good like staple, you know what I mean? Like it can just go on your table. You can use it for all kinds of things. Obviously it's not food safe anymore because I've painted it, but that's okay. If you wanted to, you know, keep it to where you could use it for food, you could always just, you know, put a paper towel in there or something for like bread or something like that. But I'm just going to reattach my little feet. They're just little rubber feet. I just like snap them off the bottom basically. Just some hot glue, and you know, it's going to just finish it out and just make it absolutely perfect. You can't even tell that this thing was red. I will probably go in and actually do a coat of clear on top of it, which I haven't done yet. But here is how it turned out. I think it's just perfect for any time of year. And now we're going to do some leaves to go with our projects. We're just going to go straight into Design Space, and I am just going to go in and type in leaves. I'm going to type in leaves and just pick a whole bunch of them at random because why not, right? Just grab any of the leaves that you want. It's really easy, super fast, and I'm just going to cut them out of paper. You know, I've got this really cute print paper, and that's going to be about how quick and easy this project is. So once we've done that, I do just pull them all off of my mat, and to do that I kind of like bent it a little bit in one direction and then used my scraping tool to kind of pull them off and just scrape away any of the extra little bits just to get it off of my mat. And here they are. They turned out super cute. I think it's just the cute little touch to add, you know, to the whole look of it. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Please don't forget to go check out Jamie, and I've got all kinds of things planned for the rest of the month, and I cannot wait to show them to you. I hope you're having a wonderful day, and I will see you next time.